So the next question is it normal for a Christian to struggle with doubt about God's reality, and how can they deal with such doubt?
So I don't know if that's normal for Christians to struggle with the reality of God, the existence of God. And the reason I'm saying that is certainly within an African context, Southern African context, you would never be countering atheism as a worldview in an African context. They have a strong theistic, even deistic or theistic view. So there's not, you're never struggling to counter atheism. However, for many cultures in the world, yes, atheism is alive and well. So for myself, having been converted out of atheism, that is a struggle that I often have. Satan will often challenge me as to the reality of the existence of God. Now, I don't know if everybody would struggle with that. I'm sure that we all come from different backgrounds. We all come out of different contexts. And so, while that is my struggle, other Christians might be having other struggles where Satan is causing them to doubt. And I think it's common, yes, I think it's universal for every Christian to struggle with doubt. Because Satan he is the accuser, and he is the one that will bring and sow the seeds of doubt in your mind, whatever that is. And so for me, that question is really kind of personal, because I'm saying, yes, that very often is my struggle. Is God real, or is this just kind of a figment of my imagination? My answer to that, how do you then deal with that? How do I deal with it? Well, I have a very, very simple way of dealing with that. And that is, when I don't know what to say, when you don't know what to say what you know. So go back to the basics of the foundations that you know. I am convinced, I know that I know that I know, that in the end I will see him, Job's words. So for me, I go back to the point of saying, I know that God is real. What I've got to do is I go back to that moment in my life where my agnostic father said to me that being an atheist was the most stupid thing he'd ever heard in his life, saying it to me as an atheist. Because the evidence for God is all around us. Everywhere you look, you can see the evidence for God. So I start there. I say, of course, the evidence for God is alive and well and thriving. The fact that I'm alive it tells me there is a God. And now let me build on that. So there is a God. So is it the triune God? Well, yes. And I now come to the Bible and I say, well, the Bible teaches me that God is the triune God. Well, then my next step is, but how can I believe the Bible? Well, I have certain unshakable beliefs in the fact that the Bible is the inerrant word of God. And I build that into the next position. And so we go on. And you build on what you know. So start from the ground. When you don't know what to say what you know, and then start building the pieces on top, one on top of the other. And so things like the catechisms and those kind of things are vitally important, that we know them and we can go back to them and we can fall on them and we can build up the whole structure again on top of that. So that would simply be my answer to that question. It's an easy question to answer. But every Christian will struggle with doubts. Satan, that's what his business is. And, but you've got to know and come back to the place that is unshakable in your faith. And I believe God does give us all that unshakable point. We say, this is a non-negotiable for me.
Thanks. Yes, I.
So you mentioned things like the catechisms. So for those that don't know what the catechisms are, what are the catechisms? If you can give a short answer. If you can't, then you can do that.
There are different catechisms, but basically they are question and answer ways of teaching from the time of that you are a child. What is the chief end of man? The answer, the chief end of man is to glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. And it's a wonderful step by step, and that's why I'm saying it's foundational, and it builds one onto the next, each question taking you deeper and further in